I'm shooting this with my iPhone instead of my GoPro. I don't have my camera with me right now, but wanted to get a shot of my new Trek. This is a FX2 disc. So this is more like a road bike than the Dual Sport. There's a rigid fork instead of the front suspension. And the tire, I have tubeless tires. I have them put tubeless tires on here just for what I do. I ride through so much glass and stuff. Watching my videos, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. So really liking these tubeless tires, and just the fact that they're going to be a lot less prone to puncture. These have like no tread on them. These are like straight up like road racing tubeless tires, and I got to get used to them because they have no traction. They're kind of rough on gravel, and yeah, you can forget about going through like wet grass, like on any kind of an incline or anything like that. It's not happening. Or mud. I mean, there's just nothing for these tires to grab onto. So, gonna definitely have to get used to that, and that might be one thing that I'm gonna have to change, especially by winter time, because there's just no way. The guy at the shop said that these were fine in gravel. I asked him about it, and yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on your definition of fine and gravel. I mean, you can take this through gravel, no problem, but as far as coming to a quick stop in gravel, you can forget about it. I mean, just even a light stop in gravel, this thing's fishtailing, so kind of interesting change for me. You can see I have the double tote system installed on my rack here. Looks like I have the two arms a little askew. I need to fix that when I get home. And it's a little dirty right now because I've been putting some miles on it today. But yeah, that's the new dumpster diving vehicle. I still have the DS1. I'm enjoying this a lot better. For one thing, it fits me a lot better. This is what Trek calls a medium frame size, which is a 17.5 inch frame. My Dual Sport was a 20 inch frame, and I'm 5'9", and it's just a little too big for me. So I don't know if I'm going to keep it, try to sell it. I haven't really gotten that far, but I did want to make sure I had a bike that fit me a lot better this spring, because I'm planning on doing a lot of riding. This is a spot I like to chill at. This is sometimes I'll go over to the Casey's and like take a break and grab like a sugar-free Red Bull or something like that. It's a gorgeous Tuesday morning here in central Illinois. It's about, I don't know, 52, 53 degrees, and it's going to warm up throughout the day. I'm going to hit these apartment dumpsters up here, and then ride back up this way, cross that main road up there. There's another apartment complex that I like to go to. There's just like one big dumpster there, but I almost always find good stuff in there. So I'll be hitting up some retail stores and stuff like that on the way too. So let's see what I can find. Like 8 to 10 dumpsters in this complex, something like that. They were renovating one of the buildings back there, so they were throwing out a lot of plumbing stuff for a while. It's gross. I don't know what that is. I don't want to know. I'm not going anywhere near that stuff. I saw there was a sink in there or something, but yeah, it looks like cat puke or something all over it. So moving on. big construction dumpster over there for a while too. They're probably doing one unit at a time. An empty box. Sometimes people put their old coffee makers in the box. Check it out. We'll put the old one in the box that the new one came in. Not the case. Not the case. Same thing with microwaves, stuff like that. When I first started writing a year and a half ago, really just a year ago when I started doing this route, here we go. These hills used to just kill me. Of course, that was on like a Walmart steel. Yep, here's what I'm talking about. On a steel frame bike too. Snips and my tires. Magnet, backup magnet. And I usually throw this in with number 1 insulated copper wire, because it's, even though it's thin, it's just solid copper inside. Might technically not be number 1, but as long as I just throw a little bit of it in there with my other number 1 wire, I usually don't care. I don't know, that's pretty thin. I might be doing that wrong. There's a little ant in there, a little red, big red fire ant looking guy. I hope they aren't bad this year. Wire will cut out of here. Yeah, because technically that's, I think it is solid core wire. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's not stranded, so that might be number 1. It's just thin. If you know, let me know in the comments. Try not to make a huge noise when I'm out here, but too late. This is definitely number 1 wire, I think. Definitely, I think. That makes a lot of sense. The last stainless steel sink I turned in, I have to turn it in as breakage because of these things on the edge here. These little edge pieces are steel, tin metal. Let's get this off first. So I'm just going to leave that. Let's go for the brass here. Going for brass. Do not need stainless steel breakage in my life. Take that little brass piece there. The whole thing over. Stay. Okay. Grab that little brass bit. Over that little piece of plastic. Actually, a little piece of copper in there. Something. I don't know. All that. Might be something good in that dumpster. Just the brass nugget there. Yeah, it doesn't take too long. This thing's in my way. Usually to get these things out, you have a few minutes to spare. Just get these plastic things off, and the whole thing should come right out. Go. Alright, cool. Trash. Yeah, as long as I can get those plastic things off. There's a little cap on there that pops off, and there's usually a Phillips screw putting all those in. These guys, I'm sure, are all steel, tin. Yeah, it's very thin tin metal. This filter it goes, aluminum breakage. Whatever. Wire here. Yeah, brass action. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. When they're so corroded, you can't get those things off. And there's another one down there. At least one more. There might be a bunch of them in here. They might have done the whole building. Room in here. Just throw that in brass breakage with it. Just this piece would go in brass breakage if I got it off there, but I'll mess with it right now. Got my hands full at the moment. I also need to ride up to the post office today. We had like 4 sales yesterday. It's a pretty good sales day, which is good because last weekend was terrible. But I only listed like 25 things last week, and they were all like under $20 type items, like, and a lot of books, so like kind of long tail items, and a lot of stuff that I still need to cross list. I wonder if I can break that other one off. Like I did that other one. It's kind of a cool technique if that's repeatable. that works. That works pretty well. There's another plastic piece underneath there. I'll have to get off of those screws, but that's less than a minute's worth of work. I guess I'll go for this brass piece. I'm gonna get it off if I can. That's probably brass too. This little guy. Okay, I still got a long way to go on this route, so I'm gonna turn the camera off for a minute while I work on these sinks. There they are. That's cool. More manageable tote size. I was not able to do anything with that second sink. All the parts were like so fused together with corrosion that I couldn't do anything. I just cut a couple of those brass nuts off of it. The first sink, I was not able to get that other brass piece off of the little drain pipe either, so not sure what the trick is to those guys. I'll have to look that up on YouTube or something. There's got to be some easy way to get those out of there. But yeah, I wasn't even able to get the faucet on the second one. It was just impossible. It just wasn't happening, so I left it. That guy's steel. Need him. That guy's aluminum. Take those little bits out. If I can. Yeah, there we go. Easier with the flathead. Now that will go as clean aluminum. Another technique I learned from watching those scrap vulture videos. Using these things as a tool to like break up aluminum bars and stuff like that. Cool sound. Snaps. Nothing else in there. I don't think so, but a little piece of aluminum breakage there. I guess that could be clean aluminum pretty easily. You just take that bottom piece off there. Not sure. I used to always throw those in with breakage, aluminum breakage, but like I said, I'm trying to avoid that right now, so maybe I shouldn't even be grabbing those things.